This podcast is brought to you by Legend, Comics and Coffee in Omaha, Nebraska, and listeners like you. Become a patron by clicking the Donate Now button at twoheadednerd.com. Hey, we take PayPal donations too. Help keep the show ad-free.
Once, they were two best friends managing a comic book store. But when an innocent blood oath went wrong, the two found themselves trapped in the same body, imprisoned in a strange pyramid made of long boxes, buried deep below their hometown, where they are doomed to discuss comic books until the end of time. They were once Joe and Matt. Now they are known as the Two-Headed Nerd. And this is their podcast.
Broadcasting from the Ziggurat at Omaha in caverns deep below the metro area, it's our pleasure to welcome you to another Back Issue Show, episode 805 of the Two-Headed Nerd Comic Book Podcast. I'm your head, number one, the internet's Joe Patrick.
I'm your head, number two. My name is Matt Baum, and our complete coverage of the DC K.O. event continues with round 5, as per usual. These are in-depth, spoiler-filled, punch-drunk breakdowns of each tie-in issue, so we cannot guarantee they make a lot of sense.
In this episode, we'll discuss the next 8 issues in the official DC K.O. rating order, whether it makes any sense or not. I'm sensing a theme. Break down what happened, rate them with our buy it, skim it, or leave it scale, and let you know if each issue is a core issue, a must-read tie-in, or just an excuse to put KO on the cover. Round 5's fight card is our biggest yet, so get ready for 8 issues of KO action, featuring Superman robots with hearts of gold, further confusion on the term Omega Speed, and a new status quo for Impulse. Super Kids versus Supervillain Kids, and the return of Static. Vampirella, Red Sonja, Anabelle, Homelander, and more fighting your favorite DC heroes. And a new King Omega is crowned. We are nearing the big KO conclusion, but there's still plenty of time for blunt force super trauma left. Get ready for round 5 because it's back issue time in the Ziggurat.
Round 5 begins with the 30th issue of KO that we have read. Superman, number 34. From DC, written by Joshua Williamson, main cover by Dan Mora. It is a hell of a main cover. He's been killing it on these. Totally rad. Art by Eddy Barrows, inks by Eber Ferreira, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, letter by Ariana Mar, 28 pages, $4.99. Here's your solicit. Rock of Apocalypse! Darkseid's plan worked. Earth has been transformed into Apocalypse. His Dark Legion prepares the Earth for his imminent arrival. If Superman is locked in the tournament, who can stand up and defeat them? So we begin with a flashback. Superman is in the past. He's wearing his ridiculous super lab coat and sunglasses. And he has just finished working on the robots. And he's wondering to himself, do these robots have a soul? We'll discuss that in a little bit here. In the present, you may remember Superboy Prime and Lois with powers. She's Superwoman again. They beat up Sunboy, right?
Sunboy, yeah.
Okay, she wailed
Evil
on
Sunboy. They
wailed on Sunboy. He freaked out and gave her powers. She wailed on him, and now a bunch of the super robots are all blowing on him to keep him frozen.
Right, super breath, right.
Yeah, it happens. But they put the information they needed on the Heart of Apocalypse and the future that Superman's mom gave them. What is her name? Lana?
It's Lara Lorvan, if you must know.
That's
but
what it is.
We don't really say the whole name that often.
The super bot has the information inside of him, and it's so big that he's got to get it to the time trapper as fast as possible. Otherwise, he'll explode or something.
It's so big, he's got to dump it out real bad.
I don't know. The other evil Legionnaires that were messing with the Flash show up here, and they are super rude to Keelix. They kill the hell out of him. Keelix, dead forever.
I'm hoping that's not Kelix. I'm hoping that's not
That's
Kelix.
totally Kelix. Come on.
Superman's got a bunch of those little dudes.
Now, something important happens here, and we'll discuss it. Garth and Imra have a tender moment. I don't know who Garth is. Who is Garth?
Garth is Lightning Lad.
And Imra is Dream Girl or Saturn Girl. Got it.
Saturn.
Okay.
Yeah.
They have this tender moment, and she's like, shh, we can't do this. If the other legions find out, they'll totally use it against us. So they're kind of being held prisoner. We'll talk about it.
I mean, yeah, they can't admit to love. Are you kidding me? There's no room for love in Darkseid.
Apparently not. We get a quick peek at Supes and Lex and Wonder Woman in the pages of KO3. And when I say quick, I mean it's real goddamn quick, because they're like, we want you to buy KO3. Don't worry about what happens here.
But Superman notices that they're on the real Earth because he can hear Superboy Prime helping his wife.
Superbot has a tender moment with Prime as well. And then they save the Royal Flush Gang, who stuck around because they were like, I mean, is it really the end of the world? We thought this would be a great time to pillage. Their words, not mine. They were pillaging.
Yeah, I mean, I love that human moment from the villains where they're just like, we're just crooks. We stayed behind to rob shit.
I suppose. And even Prime is like, fuck those guys. And the robot's like, no way, man. I'm programmed like Superman. We got to save them.
Yeah, exactly.
They get to the Watchtower, and Mercy, who is Lex's assistant, mentions the events of the Kids Are All Fight took place already. Although the reading order says, don't read that yet. So I hadn't read it when we took these notes, and I was like, what the frig? Anyway.
Well, she just alludes to it.
She alludes to something happening in the Watchtower, and most of it actually happened on Earth. So whatever, regardless. Prime heads back to Earth because he's like, I'm going to go find the tournament. They need me. All I do is fight. I'm no good. I'm not like Superman. Lois finds the time trapper. He's all messed up. And he's like, hey, this is big news. And nobody knows it yet. But Booster Gold betrayed us. And, we're kind of like, no shit, because it's been going on for quite a while. Before she can get him the info from the Superbot, though, the evil legionnaires bust in, but so does Prime. And he says, it's prime time, baby. Like, oh, wow.
I love it because he's just such a fucking meathead.
He's a total doofus, but he's like, I'm here to protect my BFF, Lois, which I thought was kind of cute. So we learn in this issue the super robots actually have a soul. The super robots from the Silver Age.
We don't learn that. It doesn't say anything like that.
It kind of seems like it. He's being a really sweet guy. And Prime is even like, you're just a robot. Shut up, man.
They are robots built by Superman to act exactly like Superman.
I think they were very sweet. And like back in the Silver Age, they were just like decoys. Like, how can Clark Kent be Superman if I'm Superman? Everyone went,
sure,
case closed.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true.
And then he was like, glad I spent all that time building billion-dollar robots for this. I mean, you couldn't just have John Jones show up and like do it in disguise or whatever. Now, this is setting up a redemption for Superboy Prime. He's been a good guy. And he's on Superman's, like he's on the side of the angel and he's helping Lois. But we're seeing him learn. We're seeing him become more than he is. And I think in that moment with the Royal Flush Gang and the super robot, Prime is realizing, Jesus Christ, this robot that's programmed to act like Superman is acting more like Superman than I do. And we know next month, Superboy Prime is going to be like, I'm Superman now. Because, spoiler alert, Superman's missing. We'll get to that in a little bit.
We don't know why.
But the big thing here, Earth, full apocalypse. We've seen that revealed in DC K.O.
In the last one, it was full of apocalypse.
Yes.
But so I think the thing you said with that Mercy mentions, she says, Granny Goodness happened. They are on Earth. They're at Supercorp.
Right.
And so they are waiting to go to the Watchtower.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. So
yeah.
But okay, this is must-read tie-in?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, yes, in the sense that it's setting up Superboy Prime for, I think, something big that happens in DC K.O. 5. We'll get to that later.
I think it's setting up a lot of things that are going to happen.
It's also
DC K.O. 5.
Putting Lois and Superboy on Earth, where
the robot with a butt full of Lara Lorvan's data.
Right. The robot it's now gotten the information to the Time Trapper. These characters are going to be on Earth where the final contest is taking place. I think it's set up quite a bit. It's a must-read tie-in. It's also a buy it. Eddy fucking Barrows, man.
It is a buy. I mean, Eddy Barrows has drawn every one of these tie-ins for Superman, and they've all been great.
He's so good. Oh, man.
Superman tie-ins have been among the best of all of the DC K.O. tie-ins.
Definitely. And this has to be important. And you'll find out why if you haven't read DC K.O. 4 yet. So we'll see. No spoilers.
Well, the good news is you're listening to this. The good news is you're listening to this episode, so expect spoilers. All right, we're talking now The Flash 29, written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, with a cover by Dan Mora, art by Vasco Georgiev, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, letters by Hassan Otsmani Alao, 32 pages for $3.99. Here's your solicit. A race against the Dark Legion. The Dark Legion chased the Flash and Impulse to a pivotal moment in Flash history. The moment when Barry Allen was struck by lightning. If they can't stop the Legion here, the very foundation of the Speed Force could crumble. So, Wally is using a stolen Legion flight ring to reach Barry's lab. He's flying.
I wasn't ready for that. I was like, when did you get that?
Two issues ago. The answer to that is 2 issues ago.
I looked at the previous issue and it was not there. So I was like, bullshit. And there better be one Legionnaire that's just running around right now. Like, God damn it.
We have got the evil version of Dream Girl here, but not so fast. She's defecting from the Legion of Darkseid, and she's warning the Flash that Barry's destiny is the only barrier against eternal chaos. Lightning Lad shows up at the lab, intercepts the bolt to murder Barry, but Wally takes the hit and loses his connection to the Speed Force. Not good. Bart, meanwhile, has woken up from his fevered slumber and taken Iris's car and is driving to the crime lab, because obviously he knows exactly where it is.
Well, and I will say Iris is dealing with this very well.
so well. Right? And he crashes Iris's car through the wall and then fucking dies. He just drops dead. We see Jay Garrick, whose spirit is in the dying Speed Force. We see him as a statue because, you know, he lost his big fight. And he's talking to Bart through the Speed Force. He reveals that Bart is the Speed Force's living heart. And Bart resurrects himself with the ability to restore the origin, the source, and the actual mechanics of Wally's speed. He wakes up and he's like, the Speed Force is fine now, buddies. You can have some, and you can have some, and Grandpa can have some.
Also, I can shoot lightning that hurts people.
Also, yeah, that's the thing.
Okay. Well,
blame the recent Flash TV show for that shit.
Jay Garrick,
just have a guy that runs fast.
Jay Garrick did it and shot lightning at Guy Gardner. So this is a thing. We saw it. He became the Speed
understand
Force.
For some reason, weaponizing the Speed Force is a thing now.
Yep.
Whip Whirlwind, aka Max Mercury, he breaks free of his brainwashing. He has a vision of his true future. Darkseid speaks to Bart at this moment and reveals that Barry must become the Flash, but only so that he can die.
Oh, man.
Now, to be clear, that's all Darkseid tells Bart. However, then Bart goes rogue and then runs off to save Grandpa, and that leaves Wally and Whip Whirlwind behind, and apparently unconscious and also very confused Barry Allen to wonder, what the hell? And Wally thinks it's because Bart is going off to save his grandpa from Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Well, isn't that where Barry died?
Yes, but Barry's been back from the dead for many years now.
Well, yeah, but if you say, Barry died, wouldn't Bart be like, oh shit, that was a crisis. I got to go stop that.
You would think.
Doesn't that make sense?
That Bart already knows that his grandpa died in the crisis and then came back just fine.
Well, sure.
So why would he need to run off to the Great Crisis to save his grandpa from dying when his grandpa dying is integral to the life of the universe?
Well, I mean, is this the first time Bart's done something stupid, Joe?
I think that Bart thinks that we're talking about a present day Barry that has been alive and well since Flash Rebirth.
So the Flash is going to run to the Infinite Crisis and Bart's going somewhere else, you think?
I think Wally might be wrong. At least I hope that's the case, because it doesn't make sense to me otherwise. It doesn't make sense to me that Bart would not just know Barry died in the crisis and that's important, but he came back, and so everything's fine.
So let's talk about that for a second. So when Darkseid talks to him, we see Darkseid's eyes in Impulse's visor.
Kind of like through his
like he's in his brain. So maybe Darkseid is messing with his dome, and he's just like, I gotta go stop the Infinite Crisis, and that's why. I'll buy that.
I don't know. I'm trying not to be offended that you keep calling it Infinite Crisis when it's
Crisis on Infinite Earth. Sorry.
But it's okay. It's only.
Let's stay on Bart for a second while we're talking about it.
Sure.
Bart is the Speed Force, shoots Speed Force lightning, gives him his powers back.
It's quite an upgrade.
This is quite an upgrade, but some people on Comics Reddit, and I'm not saying this is like sacrosanct or rules, but they did point out that after Infinite Crisis, which I'm saying correctly,
yes, you are.
After Infinite Crisis, there was a much maligned New 52 run of the Flash.
No, not New 52. 1 year later.
Sorry, 1 year later. You're right. This would have 1 year later.
This was during the weekly series 52.
Gotcha.
So all of the other books jumped forward a year in time.
Okay.
And the new Flash series was Bart coming back from Infinite Crisis as an adult.
The only speedster left, and he'd absorbed the entirety of the Speed Force. He was carrying it with him.
Within him, in his body, yes.
Okay. And he was like a literal battery. So there is precedent for this.
Well,
if you will.
I mean, if you want to split hairs, the term absorbed the Speed Force and is the Speed Force are two different things.
No, back then he absorbed it.
Right. But now this comic is like Bart is the Speed Force.
Yeah. Now they're like,
and I'm not really sure what that means.
He's like an avatar of speed, sort of like Aquaman's an avatar of the blue. And
sure. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Swamp Thing is an avatar of the green. I think they're having like an avatar of the speed now.
Sure. I mean, why not? So it used to be back in the day, after Mark Waid created the Speed Force, that Wally was considered the most pure conduit for the Speed Force that had ever lived up to that point. Because he was using the Speed Force in ways that nobody ever could.
Yeah.
And now we've got Bart like leveling up a whole nother order of magnitude.
Yeah.
I don't know what exactly that means. I don't know exactly what that's all going to mean.
He's Speed Jesus. That's what it means.
Speed Jesus.
Bart's
sure.
now Speed Jesus. That's his new status quo. Dream Girl. She is full on defecting. This is not for my sake. Okay.
This is the Legion of Darkseid Dream Girl, the evil Dream Girl.
She's not the good Dream Girl, but she's able to see, just like the real Dream Girl who can see the future and the past. She's able to see.
She sees the future. She has precognitive powers.
Something that leads her to believe like there is more going on here than this Darkseid is bullshit.
The way it seems is that she is seeing the future and is betraying Darkseid as a result. But this whole time, Saturn Girl has been looking directly into Darkseid's scary mind.
Hold on there.
But you're right.
That happened in the past. That happened in
like Saturn Girl has had like one-on-one chats with Darkseid himself. Right. She has looked into the hearts and minds of the most pure heroes on DC's Earth, and she doesn't defect at all.
Well, maybe
the Dream Girl is like, no way, man.
No, if the two haven't talked about it, they don't have confirmation. So Saturn Girl is like, I'm still fucking scared of this dude. I don't even know what I think. And Dream Girl's like, I see it, and I'm smart, and maybe she sees more because she sees the future beyond it. I don't know. We'll talk about that at the end of DC K.O. number 4. We got to keep moving.
Now, this is also a bit of an example of maybe tie-in creators not being on the same page.
Possibly.
Because
yes.
Dream Girl, as part of this fight, Dream Girl shows the evil Legionnaires a vision of the real Legion, and they freak out like, how dare you, or it's all lies.
Right.
But the evil Legion, especially Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, and Cosmic Boy, are well aware of the heroic Legion already.
Sure.
And also in the Superman one, presumably Saturn Girl, Lightning Lad, and Cosmic Boy show up after just dealing with the Flash.
Or like just Yeah, just afterwards. So I don't know.
I think like things are kind of a mess.
And maybe that's why Garth and Irma are like, we can kind of talk about our feelings. They're like, no, just because that thing happened. I don't know. We'll get there.
I don't think it's that. I think they're worried about getting caught. Like they're having an affair and they don't want anybody to know it. But
Is
they
this
went
a
to
must-read
Coldplay
tie-in?
concert and now they're busted.
Is this a must-read tie-in? I'm saying maybe.
I'm saying it's a skim it as far as a must-read as a tie-in goes.
I'm going to say maybe because this Omega Speed may be revealed in what's going to happen later, but has not been revealed yet.
I don't think that the Flash stuff is going to really have anything to do with the ending of DC.
If not, then Omega Speed is a bullshit, and this is absolutely not a must-read tie-in. Now, I'm going to give it a buy it because I'm liking what's going on with the Flash.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a buy it because I like what's going on with Flash, and it's interesting.
I like the book. Yeah.
It's good status quo, and, you know, I'm impressed. It's a good-looking book. Good time, but we got to keep moving.
Yeah, we do.
Justice League Unlimited number 15 from DC. It's written by Mark Waid, main cover by Dan Mora, who's been very, very busy this month. Art by Dan Mora and Sean Isaacs. Colors by Tamara Bonville and lettered by Ariana Maher, who has also been very busy. 32 pages for $3.99. Here's your solicit. The plot Neron set in motion is revealed at last, and the consequences will spell the end of heroism on planet Earth. It's over. As powered up villains ravage what's left of the planet, the Terrific 10 is whittled down to a handful of survivors. Who can't possibly withstand the fires of hell? Whew.
I find it really hard to believe, just really briefly, that so many like blue collar supervillains are totally cool with being like, yeah, the devil. I like what that guy has going on.
Neron's got a whammy on him, I'm sure. You know, it's Neron.
No, I don't think so.
That's what he does, right? But regardless of that, there's a lot more than just that shit going on in this book, Joe. We open with the problems on the Watchtower. The Watchtower has gone totally dark. They were still pulling people off the Earth, and all the boom tombs shut down and stuff. And you know why? Because Airwave is coming back from the vanishing point, and it's causing a temporary Watchtower blackout. Blue Beetle literally pulls Airwave out of like this fracture in time. And there's a whole lot behind that we'll talk about a little bit.
A strange portal. Why would you reach into any kind of strange portal?
Well, because he was like, wait a minute, what is that? I think the Airwave was projecting like, it's me, help type thing, you know, Berserk, right? And he pulls him out and he's like, oh shit, I'm super sorry. I didn't know. I was just trying to get back. As you may or may not remember, Airwave and a gang were sent to this like space station. We'll talk about that in a little bit, at the edge of the universe.
It's at the end of time.
It's a whole thing.
Point. It's a very old DC concept.
In the meanwhile, the backup team that fans have been waiting for takes action, led by Airwave, with Kadejos, Baruka, and Golden Frog all joining Kid Flash in Oklahoma to fight Neron-empowered villains.
I don't care what anybody says. I love Kadejos and Golden Frog. I think they're so cool.
I think the design of both of them is very cool. Yeah. Neron warns that freeing the souls now would leave them all stranded on Darkseid's Earth. Because the Kid Flash is like, you're done. I'm over here. I'm shutting this down. I'm going to break this purple thing. It's going to free all the souls. And Neron's like, go ahead. Have you looked out the window?
Yeah, right. Right now, they're just in a jar.
Right. Meanwhile, back in hell, Tim Drake, who is Batman Beyond at this time, don't think about it too hard, but during the New 52, Tim Drake was Batman Beyond. He got yanked out of that time period for the Terrific 10. That's all you need to know. Terry is still Batman Beyond. Don't worry about it. He admits,
there's a whole bunch of stuff.
He feels unworthy being in the Justice League, you know, whatever, because like they're all gods and he's just a dude. Tim, pardon me, Superman Blue, in the meantime, who has given up all hope, as you recall, that was the only thing he could give up to the boatman on the River Styx.
The ferryman.
This issue. A big demon shows up and he's like, why am I even alive? I'm just going to kill myself to save everybody. Berserk dies. Goldhawk is possessed by a demon and vanquished by Dr. Fate's magic. Tim Drake dies a hero's death protecting Dr. Fate. And Mr. Terrific is like, see, kid, you did have what it takes to be on the Justice League. I mean, if what it takes is getting killed, sure. Dr. Fate gets eaten by bugs and Owlman.
So gross.
It is super gross. And Owlwoman disappears. Mr. Terrific.
The bugs are the sound effect of the bugs is all like crunch.
It's gnarly. At this point, it appears Mr. Terrific is the only surviving member of the Terrific 10.
He's the terrific one.
He reaches Neron and he says, all right, here's the deal. Shut it down and I'll be your double agent on Earth. And Matt Bomb's like, wait a minute. What? He's like, yep, I'll do it. I'll be your double agent and I'll help you take over all the heroes and stuff like that because they trust me. I'm the smartest guy on the planet, man. It's a hell of a deal. And Neron's like, that sounds pretty good. Just as Owlwoman stabs Mr. Terrific in the back and twist. She had already sold out to Neron. So we are screwed at the end of this comic. Mission over. Nothing they can do. Airwave. Let's talk about this. He had been missing and lost in time since the Justice League Dark Tomorrow one shot, which takes place after the We Are Yesterday crossover that we're in through Batman, Superman, and Justice League Unlimited. I don't remember where that ended up and how Airwave got here, though.
Guess what? All you time lost heroes, you're stuck here. And that's how we found out that you're not real.
Oh.
You're echoes from timelines that no longer exist.
And this is where they got the idea for the Terrific 10 as well.
Right. That's why it was like suicide mission. No problem, because none of these characters are real.
So Airwave was like the ruler of the Legends of Tomorrow, basically.
Airwave went off with a group of time travelers on a mission in the Justice League Dark Tomorrow one shot.
Right.
And that's really where he has been ever since then.
Fair. And now he's coming back because he figured out a way to get back because Mark Waid loves Airwave. So
dude loves Airwave. Yes.
Now, do you buy Mr. Terrific making this deal with Neron?
I mean, Mr. Terrific is sacrificing himself so that Earth can be evacuated completely. He's trying to save lives.
But he's doing so by making a deal with the devil that he will be the devil's double agent and help him take over.
Where? On Apocalypse? Okay.
Neron's like, this isn't going to last forever. He's a god. He's seen shit like this. He's like, man, whatever. Yeah, let's do it.
No, I mean, he says Neron was like, nice try. I already got it.
Right, because somebody already took the deal. But Mr. Terrific, yeah, I think
Mr. Terrific was sacrificing himself so that the job saving Earth could be completed. I also think that maybe he was banking on the heroes winning the Omega tournament and that they'd be able to find a way out of it.
That's a lot of I know for a scientist.
He's like the third or seventh or however number smartest man on Earth.
So he understands that the scientific method works with data, not I sure hope when they figure this out, there's a way out of this, you know.
Look, bud, I don't know, man. To tell you. I think that he was in a tough spot. They were on a mission that had to succeed, and he saw one way to do it.
Is this a must-read tie-in?
Again, I'll say maybe. It's a huge buy it.
It's a huge buy it. I think this is becoming. We're going to find out that this mission and what is taking place is way more important than we thought it was.
Why?
Something's going to come out of this. This whole thing with Owlwoman and Neron and Mr. Terrific, it's too big of a setup. An Airwave coming back.
There's one chapter to go. The Owlwoman thing will be done by the time that
Airwave coming back, this is going to be a part of something big.
The worst named title in the whole
Easily
batch.
The award for worst fight pun goes to this issue.
DC K.O, the kids are all fight. It's a special from DC written by Jeremy Adams with a cover by Bruno Redondo. Great cover.
Great cover.
Art by Travis Mercer, colors by Andrew Dahlhaus, letters by Dave Sharp. It's 48 pages for $5.99. Here's your solicit. Slugfest. The kids are all fight. Jon Kent finds himself babysitting a group of rogue sidekicks at the end of the world. When they sneak into the action against Granny Goodness, Jon has to show them the ropes before the female Furies take them off the board for good. So this takes place sort of at the same time as Titans 31, like because Donna and Arsenal leave to go do what happens in that book. Like a few pages into this.
Yeah, like we got to go take care of Grail. She's got a fucked up haircut.
Yeah,
and we're
Grail,
not
the daughter
putting
of
up with that.
Darkseid. It's okay. I'm feeling very confident that my normal boyfriend with his bow and arrow can win. So Donna makes a joke saying that Jon is in charge of the Watchtower babysitting club, which is pretty funny.
I did like the boom character calling him Superboy Man, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Super Son Boy Man.
So here are the kids in question. Judy Garrick, whose codename is the Boom. Leanne Harper, who is Arsenal's daughter, that we have come to learn now is called Cheshire Cat. PJ Holt, who goes by Fairplay, and Quiz Kid, Rahu Sitharaman.
Here's the thing that pisses me off.
Quiz Kid.
So Quiz Kid has Play Fair on a banner on his chest, and then there's a kid named Fair Play who has an F on his chest. Like,
let me blow your mind. That's because Fair Play is the son of Mr. Terrific.
No, I know that. I get that. It's just like,
which is something I absolutely did not remember at all, and we're going to get to that.
I didn't either.
So here is the rundown. The kids obviously escape the Watchtower immediately. They use hard light holograms to trick Jon Kent, and then they sneak down to Earth, aka New Apocalypse.
Jon Kent, who has supervision, by the way. Shouldn't be able to just throwing that out there.
Say that again.
Jon Kent has supervision, by the way. Like Superman would be like, those aren't people, those are hard light holograms.
I guess, if he's not using his supervision.
Sure.
Jon, of course, is in panic mode, and he hires Cassandra Cain, aka Batgirl, to help him track them down. She is exhausted. She's covered in goo. She's been on Earth fighting, and she's taking a breather to recharge before she goes back down. She makes him promise to give her 4 IOUs. I like to think she was going to help him anyway, but whatever.
Oh, I thought they were talking about sexy time. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. I don't know that Cassandra Cain is really
sexy,
interested in that sort of thing.
I don't know.
So we see the new Furies, as they are called, which are the female Furies we know and love, as well as possessed versions of Yara Flor, aka Wonder Girl, Irie West, Wally's daughter, and Stargirl, and they ambush the kids. Jon, Cassie, and Fairplay. Not Cassie. She doesn't go by Cassie. Jon, Cassandra, and Fairplay bond over this stolen childhood sort of idea because Fairplay has a vision. Turns out Granny Goodness had kidnapped Fairplay as a baby and raised him on Apocalypse. And so he's got all of this PTSD about it. And when he sees Granny about to beat his friends, he's like, oh no. And he runs away. And so Cassandra, Jon, and Fairplay kind of like share that moment. There is this weapon. Granny is trying to create delta waves or something or other to take over the minds of the humans left on Earth. And we see a shocking return of a character. He detects Granny's weapon and he's able to dismiss it immediately.
Yes.
Well, Virgil Hawkins, aka Static Shock. So anyway, Static shows up to save the day. He's like, I've felt this whole delta wave nonsense, and I was like, that's cute, and I shot it down. And so Static is here in the main DCU. This, of course, frees the brainwashed heroes and repels Granny, and we get a hint that maybe there's a new Titans team being formed. And the name of the next storyline in Titans is called New Titans.
Okay.
Which is a callback to what the book was called in the late 80s, early 90s.
I like it. I think this is something for Jon and Yara and Cassandra to do.
I would super duper love a Titans book with young kids. That said, there's also a rumor going around based on some things that are coming out that we don't know if they're like flashback books or what. But seeing Jon Kent as a little kid again, like Damian age.
What? Okay.
And so there's a rumor going around that maybe something's going to happen that restores Jon to his proper age.
Okay. This is a like Reign of the Superboys or whatever thing that's coming.
Yeah, exactly right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly right.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if I need two speedsters on the team. I don't think that makes a lot of sense. The Boom and Irie, and I don't give a crap about Wally's kids. So
Irie is a speedster. That's true.
yeah, I don't know. I don't love it. Let's talk about Static. So this like firmly establishes that the character is here on a team. Boom, we're good.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But to make it even more confusing, the Dakota incident #1 depicts Static as a much older man than this teenage version.
We'll get there next week.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
Anyway, I mean, yeah, but
Is this a must-read tie-in?
it's less the bottom line is it's less confusing than you think.
Gotcha.
Don't overthink it. Static has been here all along. He just hasn't been putting on the
And
costume.
I admit, not knowing Static's continuity, I was confused. And I looked around, people were like, yay, he's back. And I was
Not
like,
even
"He's
DC
back?"
really knew Static's continuity, so don't sweat it.
Got it. Is this a must-read tie-in?
Maybe. Again, it's a maybe.
It's setting up good stuff for the Titans. I'm interested. I think like some of these kids are interesting.
It's setting up good stuff for the Titans for after KO is over.
Yeah. I want to know how Fair Play has a bunch of mother boxes instead of T-spheres. That's kind of cool.
Oh, so about Fair Play, I had to look it up again because I did not remember him existing at all. And so I Googled it and it was like, oh, his first appearance was in Flash 799. Of course, I read that comic. And it was a Jeremy Adams comic, just like this one, because if you say anything for Jeremy Adams, all of his tie-ins have been for shit that he's set up personally.
Right.
And I appreciate that about him.
Oh, and the other kids are from like the Jeff Johns Lost, whatever.
The
stuff,
Lost,
right?
yeah, the new Golden Age,
Okay,
right? Yeah,
okay.
the Boom and Quiz Kid are from that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so Fair Play was first introduced in the Flash 799, and there was this storyline. Mr. Terrific was there, and there was a bunch of crazy stuff going on, and they ended up on Apocalypse, and they fought Granny Goodness. And I was like, yep, this checks all these boxes. And there's Fair Play. I'm like, oh, weird. Okay. And then I'm thinking to myself, oh, wait a minute. This comic book identifies him as PJ Holt. Mr. Terrific's name is Michael Holt.
Yeah.
What is revealed in the Flash 799, it says that Granny Goodness stole Fair Play as a baby, a fetus, essentially, from his mother's womb at the moment of her death.
So like a reverse Jesus Christ thing, huh? Instead of knocking her up, he took one out of there.
Yeah. So, part of the modern Mr. Terrific's origin famously is that his wife and unborn child were tragically killed in a car accident.
Right. So, but Granny
And
Goodness
it's why he doesn't believe in God and the whole deal. It's like a very famous part of his character. And now we found out Granny Goodness actually stole the baby and raised it to be part of her own personal army.
Gross.
In addition, or she also stole Donna Troy's son, Robert, who died again in a car crash when he was a toddler in the 90s in Ron Mars's Green Lantern. You remember that shit?
This is only acceptable if all the Furies were rescued from car accidents.
And then the third
That's just Granny Goodness's jam. I'm giving this a buy.
sure.
This is good. The Titans has been good. The boss, but the kids, terrible title. The kids are all fight, terrible title. But this ties directly into Titan stuff. If you want to know where
It's
these Titans
definitely
come
better
from,
than the Green Lantern Slam Jam.
it's good setup. And I would argue it's better to do this as a special than start a new Titans book as a #1 in the middle of the event. So I will allow it.
1,000%.
I'll allow it. This is what you do with a special. Nice job, DC. I'm giving it a buy it.
I agree. I also don't think it's an essential tie into DC K.O.
No, probably not. Let's talk about probably the most essential tie-in, DC K.O. Boss Battle, #1 from DC. It's written by your boy, Jeremy Adams. Main cover by Jamal Campbell. No fault of any of these creators, by the way, because I'll tell you what, if you want to see an editorial hand pushing something, I've got an example for you right here.
Yeah.
Art by Ronan Cliquet, Carmen Domenico, Carrion McCown, and Pablo M. Collar. Colors by Hi-Fi. Lettered by Josh Reed. It's 40 pages. It's $4.99. Here's your solicit. Unexpected challengers! As the Omega tournament reaches its peak, fighters from beyond the DC multiverse enter the ring. Sub-Zero, Homelander, and more arrive to challenge the DCU's finest in a star-studded cock-tease crossover that sets the stage for the final chapter of DC K.O. I'll let you guess what part of that solicit I added.
They really buried the lead in this solicit here. Sub-Zero is the big draw in this solicit?
I mean, maybe Mortal Kombat's bigger than we think, bro. I don't know.
So Excuse me, it's Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
If you are wondering how all these characters from different companies got forced into DCKO, I'll tell you exactly how it happens. And it makes perfect sense. Grodd and the World Forger arrive on the terraformed Earth just in time to stop the big fight that we're going to see in DCKO #4. Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex, and the Joker versus Booster Gold Darkseid or whatever, Booster Dark Gold Side, sorry, and the Absolute Heroes, right? Not yet.
Gold Side, BDGS.
Before we do that, you guys don't have enough Omega energy to win. We got to get you some more Omega energy, so I'm going to stop time. Time out. Because apparently they have that kind of power over the DCKO tournament, which is being run by a god. Right? Regardless, I'm not going to, don't worry about it.
The World Forger is a being that Scott Snyder introduced during his run on Justice League as the sibling of the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor.
Right. He's a big, powerful guy.
The World Forger is literally the being that built the universe.
Fair enough. He's very powerful, but
but
the Heart of Apocalypse is like, I'll allow it. Let's do it. Stops time and says, here's what we're going to do. You guys got to go and fight these other multiversal champions. And in doing so, you will suck up even more ill-defined Omega energy, because we still have no fucking idea what this Omega energy is or what it does. We don't know shit about it. We know less about Omega energy than I would argue we do about Omega speed at this point.
You just have to fill up your Omega energy meter, and when it gets to the top, you're the winner.
Right. He brings back Black Lightning, Plastic Man, Batwoman, and Star Sapphire to act as Omega batteries for Omega energy. So
here's my immediate question real quick.
Yes.
Having those 4 characters back to fight this parade of very underserved IP characters does not stop Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex, and the Joker from also fighting. And if the whole point was for them to get more energy, why are we having them fight?
We'll explain that when we discuss this, because I think I know.
Oh, okay.
And it's not for reasons of story. So the world splits open like the ground splits, and there's all these different fractures in reality, and the champions all go to fight, and some of them will fight together and others will fight separately for reasons. Fight 1 begins on Shang Tsung's Island, the home of the Mortal Kombat tournament. Plastic Man and Black Lightning fight Sub-Zero and Scorpion in a Mortal Kombat battle, but it's like the Mortal Kombat tag battles where your one guy gets beat and the other guy comes in, and like if you win with one,
is that something that happens in Mortal Kombat?
You can pick 4 characters. No, you can pick 4 characters and they can fight. Meanwhile, in the Hyborian arena, Wonder Woman is dueling with Red Sonja, and her boobs are huge. I'll give her that. It's really good art. Sonja looks
the art is very good, but yes, Red Sonja's boobs are gigantic.
We have a haunted house battle where the Joker is having a tea party with Anabelle the doll, and they don't fight at all. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you thought was going to happen.
I don't know why we have to do it if this is what they're going to do. So.
I understand, but what were you expecting? Nobody was going to punch Anabelle, no matter how many jokes we made.
Batwoman is fighting Vampirella in her gothic vampire castle. This sounds like I'm glancing over things very quickly. It's because this is literally happening in a page and a half sometimes. Meanwhile, in Greendale, Star Sapphire meets Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and they don't fight. Not at all. Not even kind of.
This is just like that Zatanna Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah. In the woods, Lex Luthor is ambushed by Sam Strong, the serial killer grizzly bear from under the trees where nobody sees. And even though Lex is wearing power armor that is powerful enough that later on he's going to do something really bad to Superman with it, he has a lot of trouble with a grizzly bear that can talk.
In fact, I believe the grizzly bear jumps on his back and slashes at it, and Lex screams like a girl.
Yes, he's like, help me! Ah!
Lex Luthor has a suit of armor that can turn the concept of the Phantom Zone into a sword.
Right. We'll talk about it. Meanwhile, in Vought City, it's the fight we've all been waiting for. All the trolls want to see Homelander kick that fucking liberal snowflake crybaby Superman straight in the dick and knock his eyes out of his head. But guess what? You don't get it. And then we get a look at Alphys and Grodd as they are using the cosmic hammer to suck up all this Omega energy while they're fighting, but it's really hard. And Alphys gets tired and he's like, I'm too tired to do that. And Gorilla Grodd is like
sucking, but it's really hard.
And Gorilla Grodd is like, hey, I've been hanging with you guys for a little while and I learned all about how all this stuff works. And I'm Gorilla Grodd. Let me help.
Right.
And Alphys is like, thank you, Gorilla Grodd. Through the power of your friendship, I feel better and I'm able to hold on to this hammer and suck everything back up.
I'm thinking to myself, Alpheus, the World Forger, a character with the power of creation who is getting his shit rocked by Booster Dark Goldside in all of those fight month interludes.
Yep.
Gets rescued by a gorilla, and then the gorilla and he decide to team up.
I don't know what to tell you. So beyond that, nobody wins any of these fights.
None of this matters. Nothing happens in this comic.
No one wins any of the fights. Nobody does. They punch each other a little bit here and there. Only some of them fight.
Can you even imagine? There's no way that any of these companies would say, Superman can punch the head off my bear.
This is like the worst wrestling invasion pay-per-view I've ever seen. And when I say invasion pay-per-view, that's when another wrestling federation shows up and wrestles your wrestlers, but no one's allowed to lose. This is like when The Rock fights Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious. No one is allowed to lose.
Right. Because The Rock is a little baby bitch.
So effectively, nothing happens. All we learn is
nothing at all happens
that by the end, the final four are charged up with Omega energy, and the Omega batteries get to go back to being dead. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. So,
let's just real quick. If anybody came into this expecting to see a good fight, or at least a fun issue, that could have happened. You can tell at some point these were all going to be single issues. They were going to be a single issue one shot, Superman versus Homelander, Anabelle versus Joker.
If that had happened, it would have been inexcusable.
I guarantee that was the initial plan, and they started to get into it, and they were like, we can't do this. Superman can't beat Homelander. Homelander can't beat Superman. We can't have that. You know, like Anabelle and Joker, who's going to write a whole issue of that shit?
It's not even a question of who can win in a fight. It's exactly. Like you cannot put out an entire comic book that's the Joker versus Anabelle and have anybody take it seriously.
Right. Or Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, and friggin' Star Sapphire. No one's going to buy. And yet they had to have sat down and gotten almost to the point of, all right, we got the creative teams and go. And someone went, guys, no, we're not doing this.
I feel the most bad for anybody here involved. I feel the most bad for Patrick Horvath.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care how many more people laid eyes on Samantha Strong because of this comic book. There is not one ad for Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees in this comic.
This service is nothing. This service is nothing. It doesn't. This is a
I don't even think it says created by Patrick Horvath.
No, this is a complete waste. It's like an inside joke. This is almost like a Mad Magazine joke. There's nothing here. This has nothing to do with KO. When you read the next issue of KO, they're not going to mention anything about this. Don't worry about it. This is a flat out leave it. You do not need to read it. And it's you could tell when they first put out this idea, they were definitely talking about what sounded like one shots. This is going to be a big intercompany thing. Oh my God, no one's ever done anything like this. And I was even like, that's pretty ballsy. I'm impressed to see what they do. This is the worst version of what they could have possibly done. And it's just a
from
waste.
the second they announced it, I knew it was going to be just like this.
Yeah.
I have had no confidence in this at all. They mentioned the creators. They mentioned the owners of each respective property in teensy tiny print on the title page.
Yeah.
And so if you were reading through this comic, you would not even know that Samantha Strong came from another comic book.
This is a leave it. Let's stop talking about it.
Thankfully, we move on to something Matt and I have been enjoying a great deal, which is DC K.O. Knightfight number 4. This is written by Joshua Williamson with a cover by Dan Mora, art by Mora, colors by Triona Farrell, letters by Tom Napolitano. It's 32 pages for $3.99. Here's your solicit. The final round. Bruce Wayne became Batman to strike terror into the hearts of criminals, but he never imagined a world where Gotham City would be so safe it no longer needs its Caped Crusader. Will Bruce destroy everything his son Damian has built to overcome the heart of apocalypse? Yeah. Yeah. So, as the solicit said, Bruce has been trapped, quote unquote, in a vibrant, peaceful, wonderful Gotham City simulation created by the heart of apocalypse. So Bruce is living as this retired patriarch with Damian and Bruce's grandson, young Alfred. The simulation is, of course, a test. Stay in happiness or return to the tournament, the brutal, deadly, awful tournament, and help save your friends and reality. Damian and the Bat family agreed to help Bruce, quote unquote, win his way out by insisting that they do the fight, that Damian fights him. But meanwhile, before the fight, Bruce is building this thing called a Bat Box, which is sort of like a mother box, kind of,
I guess.
that he is giving to Damian before he leaves. Remember, Bruce had a suit of armor with a mother box incorporated.
Sure. Yeah.
So he is like repurposing the mother box to create this.
Yeah, it's not like he just like whole cloth made new
Creates
apocalypse.
box,
yeah, like MacGyver to fucking mother box. Right.
Right. We went down to the local Radio Shack. The heart of apocalypse is, of course, like whispering to Bruce during the fight, commanding him to kill Damian. Bruce, I don't know. I read this a little differently. Some might think he lays down his guard. I think Damian actually beats him.
I don't. I think Bruce admits defeat. I think that's the point.
I think Bruce admits defeat in the sense that Damian can't be beat.
Okay, maybe it just depends how you want to look at it.
Right. I think Damian wins fair and square, and when the heart is like, get up, kill your son, kill your son, Bruce is like, I can't win. And that was the true test. Bruce admitting defeat was the test. But it was never going to let him stay there anyway.
No, of course not.
If you had not played along, I was going to destroy this fucking happy town. It would have been great. I would have just wiped it out and sent you back to the tournament anyway, or made you relive it all over again. Yep. It says, quote, you were never going to escape my punishment.
Well, sure. I mean, the heart of apocalypse is a real asshole.
Yeah, it is. So at the last second, Bruce admits defeat. The heart is like, haha, I got you. And as the heart is swallowing him up, he yells at Damian, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. And then he's cast into this black void. And the Heart shows him a fiery portal back to the tournament. The whole point of DC Knightfight was Bruce was trying to cheat the tournament. Bruce was trying to figure out a way around the rules.
Yeah.
He brought illegal mother box tech to the tournament, and he thought he was going to beat the system. And the Heart says, no, sir. No.
I would say point of order. Everybody else is allowed to bring one thing.
I don't think mother box armor counts. And the Heart was punishing him by saying, I'm going to put you through all of this stuff with the goal that at the end of it, you're going to either prove you have what it takes to fight the way you need to, kill your friends,
right,
kill Darkseid, and become King Omega, or I'm going to torture you and kill you.
Yeah, he got out of it. And
he wins. So Batman, wins in air quotes.
But that's when we see the pinging start. And that's why I think this bat box is going to be a big part of something, because we see it pinging over alternate reality Dick and Tim and Jason
near all of the alternate Batman. And we see this pinging right before Batman jumps into the pit. Batman takes the leap of faith into the flames to rejoin the tournament. But not before we see that bat box doing something. And we don't know what quite yet.
But the bat box is a thing. It's going to be a thing that you know what to do, Damian.
So it's either part of the conclusion or it's something about getting this world to stick around.
It has to be. We know that Bruce used the mother box to get pulled out of the tournament. He did something and created a bat box. He gave it to Damian, said, you know what to do, Damian. It's pinging.
Is it to bring 4 extra Batmen to the tournament?
Quite possibly. Yes.
4 extra normal human men to fight the King Omega?
Quite possibly. Yes.
That's dumb.
If it pulled him out, I don't know. I can't pull them in. I mean, we'll see. But that is my guess.
Just want to talk a little bit about the quality of the book.
It's great. The book is great.
There's a montage of family moments at the beginning. It's just so wonderful. Mora draws Alfred as this doe-eyed anime boy, which is adorable.
Kind of ridiculous.
So you asked me a question. Did Batman get out? Did he win because he can't be happy? Did we prove that he can't be happy? And I don't think that's it.
I don't think it is.
Because this book ends with Batman's internal monologue saying the Heart thinks it's won, that it's defeated me. It forced me to fight against my family. But that's the thing it didn't realize. It wasn't testing me. It was training me to win. And so the Heart thinks it was breaking Batman, and Batman was like, fuck you.
I agree with all that.
I'm Batman.
I agree with all that. And the only thing that's going to sour me a little bit about this series is something that happens later in a totally different book. And we'll talk about it. I very much like Knightfight, and it's a great setup. And I love what it does with Batman. But the payoff ultimately is not great.
Well, but you know that payoff is not the payoff. It's
probably not so far. I don't.
It's the last dark moment before the beginning. Yes, you're right. There will never be any more Batman comics.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we'll see.
This is a buy it, and I think it's an essential tie-in.
Knightfight has been great. It is an essential tie-in because you're not going to have any idea why Batman shows up in the pages of DC K.O. number 4 if you don't read Knightfight. So this is from DC, written by Scott Snyder and Joshua Williamson. Main cover and art by Javi Fernandez with some help from Hermanico. Inks by Javi Fernandez. Colors by Alejandro Sanchez. Letters by Hassan Atzman Alau. It's 32 pages. It's $4.99. Here we go, folks. Here's your solicit. Trial by Absolute. The mainline heroes clash with their absolute counterparts as the penultimate chapter of DC K.O. unfolds. Booster Gold's true allegiance is revealed, and the King Omega is finally crowned in a battle that will change the face of the DCU forever. Unlike the boss battle book, this one might count. We've got the Superman, Wonder Woman.
Maybe we'll see.
Superman, Wonder Woman, Lex, and the Joker versus Absolute Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, and Booster Dark Gold side. Makes perfect sense, right? Darkseid, as we know, has been using Booster Gold's body as a vessel this whole time.
Nobody actually knows that it's Darkseid. They
These
just
guys
think
don't.
that Booster Gold, something bad has happened to Booster Gold.
They're just like, oh, he's acting really weird, right? And so we're ready. Round 4. Fight. Let's get it on.
They're like, all right, guys, it's not as bad as we thought. It's only Booster Gold.
Yeah. And so we see the Absolute folks start clanking action figures against the regular Justice League and evil bad guys. And the Joker's like, whoa, I don't want any part of this fight. I killed Batman already. I'm out. You know what? I want to be on the other side. And they're like, yeah, okay, you can be like a super weird looking chaos parademon. And the Joker's like, dig it.
I actually thought that was cool because the Heart of Apocalypse, as we've learned throughout this whole thing, is sort of like this petty, whimsical little kid.
Sure.
And it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'll do whatever as long as it entertains me.
And I'll allow it because like it's the Joker. I can see the Joker doing something this ridiculous. No question.
Oh, no, I think that particular moment where with the Joker refusing to take part in the final fight. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So the Joker, being the Joker, immediately.
Or we're refusing to take part in the final fight with the heroes.
Right. The Joker takes Lex's kryptonite and he's like, because he knows things that the Absolute people may or may not know. Right. Like, I don't think Absolute Batman knows about kryptonite, and maybe Absolute Superman doesn't know.
Well, Absolute Batman doesn't know, but Superman has encountered kryptonite. Yeah.
Absolute Superman has.
Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Well, regardless, gives it to Absolute Batman, who does, in a very Absolute Batman move, takes his ears off, sticks the kryptonite in his head.
How can that be the most effective thing to do?
Because he's going to stab Superman in the back with kryptonite bat ears.
He's going to run into him like a bull.
It's totally radical. Absolute Wonder Woman. By the way, these Absolute characters are definitely controlled by Darkseid. It is obvious.
They're
in
very
the art.
obviously evil.
Like, I'm looking at Wonder Woman.
And rocky and
half of her face is normal, and the other half of her face is very.
They're crackling with Omega energy. It's all bad.
Yeah, they've got like Darkseid California raisin skin on one half of them. They're bad news, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Batman at this point shows up, returns out of nowhere, returns from Knightfight, the simulation, and takes the Joker out pretty much the same way the Joker takes him out. Just boom, kills him, dead, bang. And this Batman's kind of strutting around. He's kind of like feeling good. He's making jokes.
Man. I mean, the dude just spent like a year with a fake family. He's all right.
And he walks up to Superman, hey, old buddy. And Superman's like, let's do this. Right.
There's a moment right before this where they flash back to the game night thing again. And they talk about how Batman, of course, because he's Batman, trained himself when he was younger to be able to know exactly how dice are going to fall based on how you hold them when you let go. And Superman's like, that's cheating. And Bruce is like, I call it being Batman. And then that sets up this moment where Batman comes back and it's like, speaking of being Batman.
Sure.
And I thought that was nice. That was a clever
It's
cut.
also why Batman is not nervous at all when he faces down a 30-foot tall, dark-sided out
he
Absolute
is definitely
Batman.
Tall.
But they're also like,
full-sized.
I mean, it's not just like they're drawing him really big. I think something's going on.
He is big.
Yeah, he's charged up with like Darkseid energy, and Batman's like, put up your dukes. Like, okay, Batman, go get him.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Let's get in a fist fight.
Right. Superman and Absolute Supes are slugging it out, and Superman realizes like this guy's just as powerful as I am. Like they're shooting each other with, their heat vision, and Superman's trying to absorb it so it doesn't kill everyone around him. And ultimately he's like, I'm going to fuse you in your cape because I don't know what to do with this guy. Right. They do a really good job of establishing that everyone is very evenly matched in these fights. And keep in mind, the Absolute heroes are all charged up with Darkseid,
You
Omega
would assume
energy or
they
whatever.
are empowered, right? They're
Right.
not just controlled, but also stronger.
But
than
the
normal.
point being here is they're all like, look, we can't kill them. It's not their fault. We are heroes. Lex seems to be the only one who understands any of the rules here.
I can't stress you, and I can't stress it enough. The heart said,
Right.
the last man standing.
Right. Like Lex is just like, you guys are all playing the game like friends. And I think that's why they keep flashing back to the game night.
The game night, yes.
We're
of
having
course.
fun. We're playing a game, and this is a game. We're heroes, and we always win. And Lex is like, I play games to win. That is what I do. I'm Lex Luthor.
Right.
So when Superman punches Booster Gold so hard that it like pauses his control of the Absolute Heroes, and they're like, oh man, we feel better. Like, oh geez, great. They're like, great, now we can team up and fight him. And Lex is like, you guys are fucking idiots. You need to understand that's not Booster Gold, first of all. Second, Darkseid let him go because he's here. He doesn't need him. And when I say he's here, I mean he's literally crawling out of Booster Gold's mouth right now.
So this is the thing that I mentioned last week and on the Discord. This is a 2-page spread where they show Darkseid literally crawling out of Booster Gold's mouth.
It's gross.
It's super gross.
It is gross.
And then he is like hovering over the battlefield, looming so large, like Galactus is here, right?
Right.
It's a really impressive 2-page spread, but I had to stare at what's happening in those first couple of panels so long before I was like, I can't believe that happened.
Right. So they team up, the Absolute Heroes and the regular DCU heroes, and you can kind of see Lex is in the back, and he's like, yeah, I'm coming too. And they're all going to fight Darkseid, and Darkseid shoots a laser out of his eyes and kills everybody. Literally just kills everybody. Just Darkseid the lasers move around. They fry everyone. The only one standing is Superman. And it's a kick-ass Superman moment where Superman takes the full blast of the Darkseid vision, right? And he's like, is that all you got? And they're called the Omega Beams. The Omega Beams. And Superman's all fried and cut up. And for some reason, he's not wearing his knuckles with stars on him in this scene. But whatever.
That's what those red wraps are. Yeah. That's what those red wraps are. He is wearing them.
Okay. They're not glowing. So maybe they're just out.
No, because that's been inconsistent.
He used them all up. But Superman, Lex Luthor was smart enough to get behind Superman, because if anybody's going to live through this, it's going to be Supes, right? And so he lets him shield him. And he's like, all right, Lex, let's do it. Let's take this guy out. And Lex Luthor's like, I don't think you understand this game. And he shoots Superman and kills him.
Yeah. And turns him into a statue.
It is the most perfect Lex Luthor moment I can possibly think of. It's just perfect. Because it's like, in this moment, Lex is not killing Superman because he hates Superman. He's not killing Superman because he's a bad guy. Lex is killing.
The hating thing is just a perk.
It happens to be there, but Lex is killing Superman because Lex fully believes this is the only way out of this situation, to become the King Omega, to be the last person standing. And he is. We see Superman turn to stone. The tournament is over. Lex Luthor is now King Omega. Your King Omega.
So from here, and we're going to get into our discussion, but from here, this is where Joshua Williamson takes over the writing.
Right.
I double checked the credits page, and in the past it had said that he wrote like the game night interlude and stuff. This specifically says that he writes the epilogue, which makes sense because this epilogue is all about Saturn Girl of the Legion of Darkseid learning something about her master.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. We're like, so Dream Girl saw the future, and she was like, something's going on here, and I don't know whose side I'm on, and I'm seeing some truth. Saturn Girl gets called in front of Darkseid in the past, and she's like, oh man, Darkseid, you is, dude. And he's like, I is, aren't I? And he's like a big floating head, and he looks very Jack Kirby, like he looks like All Father God, like they call it the King Omega, the final god, right.
Darkseid.
And he's explaining to her like, hey, here's how this is going to work. I've got all this in plan. We're going to go into the near future of the Absolute world and capture the Absolute kids and take them as prisoners. And then we're going to set up this tournament, and they're going to fight the champions, and the champions, they're going to do the superhero stuff they always do. And guess what? Because of that, Lex Luthor's going to kill Superman, and he's going to be the king. It's going to be awesome. And Saturn Girl's like, sounds great. You want us to go get him? And he's like, sure. But first, look into my eyes and read my mind. And she's like, I don't know. That seems like it could be bad. And he's like, do it. And she's like, okay. And so she does it. And she has this vision. And in the vision, she sees Booster Gold like lightning shooting out of him and stuff like that. And he's sort of transforming and there's skeletons all over the ground. And she realizes Darkseid, oh man, he just is. There's nothing you can do about it. And without him, there would be nothing. But she also sees a creation of a different kind. And in the final panel, we get a peek at the Time Trapper, Doomsday. Is this the creation? Like, what is this? What am I looking at? I'm missing whatever hint this is.
Yeah. Couple of small things. Darkseid says to her, I can sense that they are doing this tournament thing, trying to win the favor of the Heart of Apocalypse.
Right.
So he did not set up the tournament, but he knows what they're doing.
He's aware.
And he's like, let him try.
He's aware of it.
Let him try. I dare him. The existence of the Time Trapper, however, is a wrinkle. It's something unforeseen. And Saturn Girl sees this. And so my question is she secretly working her own plan to blow up Darkseid's shit?
Okay, let me ask you something else. And maybe I'm looking too far into this, but the whole time that the Heart of Apocalypse has been talking, it has had a certain style of lettering. And we are seeing that style of lettering right
This
here.
is because the Heart of Apocalypse is narrating.
Right. And the Heart of Apocalypse is aware of a creation of a different kind as well.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So so does the Heart of Apocalypse and the Time Trapper have something going on?
No, I think that the Heart of Apocalypse is not necessarily on Darkseid's.
We don't know what
side.
it is, right? Like,
I think the Heart of Apocalypse is a sentient force that does what it wants. And what it wants is for there to be a big chaotic tournament where characters fight and die and kill and win the right to challenge the king god of the universe to become the new king god of the universe.
Who is the enslaved new god that is the Heart of Apocalypse? We know Barda knows it and said it corrupts. So maybe some trickster.
I beg your pardon?
Who is the enslaved new god that is the Heart of Apocalypse?
You think that the Heart of Apocalypse is actually an enslaved new god?
It's a sentient thing. It's going to be somebody. It's going to be somebody.
I don't think it's going to be somebody. I think it is a sentient thing.
Joe
I think
Patrick,
it's a cosmic embodiment.
Everybody in DC is everything in DC is somebody. Bart is now the Speed Force. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a person of some sort.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I honestly have no idea. Through this whole thing, I have not really understood. But I've been saying this since the beginning. Why would the Heart of Apocalypse, which
I don't know,
by definition, is the thing that made Apocalypse, that enabled the creation of Darkseid and is capable of all of this reality altering power. Why would the Heart of Apocalypse be like, yeah, I think this all sounds like a good plan? I think we should see if maybe this human being from the planet Earth can gather up enough power to kill fucking Darkseid.
Because the Heart of Apocalypse.
Because now Lex is King Omega and he has to fight Darkseid. That's the whole point.
And the Heart of Darkness, the Heart of Apocalypse is the one that's saying a creation of another kind. And in the very last page of this, we see the DC K.O, the bracket. It's Lex Luthor versus Darkseid next. The Heart of Apocalypse knows something. The Heart of Apocalypse.
I agree. I think the Heart of Apocalypse is all knowing. It's narrated this entire thing.
Yeah, I think it is actively working against Darkseid.
I don't think that it cares who wins. I think that it's just telling the story.
My guess is it's enslaved and being forced to do this. Look,
if that's the case, then Matt, that makes so much more sense to me than what I think they're doing, which is, there's a cosmic thing and it just wants to see him fight because of reasons.
I think there's something behind it. There's definitely something behind it.
I think you're giving a lot of credit to a guy who we have a strong track record of knowing just does shit because he thinks it's cool.
Sure, but now he's doing it with Joshua Williamson.
Joshua Williamson wrote 5 pages in this
book. They're working together. I'm telling you. We'll see.
I want to hope for the best, Matt. I really, really do. But DC K.O. has done nothing but prove what I thought from the beginning, which is that it is a fucking stupid mess.
We got one issue to go. I'm giving this a buy it because of the stuff that happened in it. There's
no way. I thought the last couple of pages and then the epilogue were good and the rest of it was nonsense.
I thought I bought the Lex Luthor turn. I thought it was perfect for Lex. I love the setup with Lex doing this. I got to say, I had fun with this. I'm giving it a buy it. I have to see what happens next. That is the definition.
I mean, that's not a question. Book. Of course, we're in it to win it now.
Yeah, but they got me, man. I even if I was just reading this, I'd be like, I'm reading number 5. I got to fucking see.
I think this issue is just a series of Mad Libs thrown together.
I'm also very happy,
but not more so than the boss fight one shot.
Oh, way better than the boss fight one shot. But I'm very happy that my Absolute books will not be affected. This is just a thing. They're plucked out of whatever, just like other characters.
I mean, they hedged their bets, right? They were like, we're going to pull them from the near future of where they are right now. So at some point, presumably, if they wanted to, they could have an arc where Absolute Batman gets wrapped up in some DC all-in shit. Yeah. I don't want them to.
No. I certainly hope not. And they played it safe here. That is for sure.
This is a strong Skim It. I thought that the art, I think I have defended Javi Fernandez while still thinking that maybe he wasn't the right guy for the job. But I think the last couple issues, it's been rougher and rougher, but must say that 2-page spread with our Darkseid crawling out of Booster Gold's body is so good.
There were panels in this that were very good.
It's so good. And then the backup, the epilogue is drawn by Hermanico, and so it's gorgeous.
Stunning, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's a strong Skim It. I think that the wheels are coming off this with frightening speed.
See, I'm kind of shocked. I would think at this point it's getting right down to all that like Crisis and Kirby crap that you love so much. I mean,
Matt,
I don't know.
There's nothing like the Crisis about this. Nothing.
Well, wait till you read DC K.O. number 5, Joe Patrick, and then we'll see.
Okay, sure.
Excelsior!
Well, we were going to do Aquaman 14 this week, but we just didn't have the energy after that.
It just doesn't make sense after a conclusion like
that. It also makes no sense for it to be after DC K.O. number 4 in the reading order.
Also, it's very loosely a KO tie-in at best. So.
It is marginal, yeah. So we're going to put it at the, we're going to tack it on to our next DC K.O. coverage episode. So that means this is it for THN 805. And next week, we're back to reviewing new comics. But if you need more THN in the meantime, join our Discord. You can learn all about it at twoheadednerd.com. If you need more THN in the meantime, join our Discord for more KO discussion, as well as many other fine topics. And join us for the THN Gang Hang on Saturdays at 11 o'clock Central. If you want to talk comics with us, I would love to discuss DC KO number 4 with the gang, because boy, do I feel like they've got opinions.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube, we've got a handy new KO playlist that you can follow and follow along and find out if it does find a way to warm Joe Patrick's heart. I don't know. We'll see. If you're digging on the podcast, give us a rating and review wherever you download the show. It really helps get us in front of other potential listeners. THN is a listener-supported podcast, and it wouldn't be possible without the generosity of donors like our patron, reborn as a vending machine superfan, Jim Heavey. There had to have been one with a much longer title you could have picked, but
this one is actually called Reborn as a Vending Machine, and Now I Wander the Dungeon Alone, or something like that. It's very long.
I gotcha. If you like what you hear every week and want to access exclusive THN content that doesn't even talk about the thing you love in the most in the world, manga, like our friend Jim, it's easy to support the show just like poor Jim. You can sign up to be a patron at patreon.com/two-headed nerd. You're never going to get Joe Patrick to read that manga. I'm sorry. He just won't do it. He's allergic.
I mean, I do love vending machines because I'm fat. Get it? Before we go, this week's shout out goes to Spawn's dad, the Todd father himself, Todd McFarlane, whose first work as a regular series artist was published this week in 1985 with the release of Infinity Inc. number 14 from DC. Jade and Obsidian have been crouching funny ever since. Word to you, Mr. McFarlane.
Until next time, true believers, remember to pre-order comics from your retailer. Might just crawl out of your butt and shoot a mega beam at your entire collection. This is the Two-Headed Nerd, signing off.
Oh, what's he doing up there?
He was cheating. He was in there the whole time.
In my butt?
Yeah. Gorilla Grodd knew.
Is he in there right now?
Gorilla Grodd knew the whole time. I don't know how, but he did.
That asshole, that jerk.